We are following breaking news out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. At least 20 people are injured after a vehicle plowed into a crowd plowed into a crowd of people gathered to march in and watch a holiday parade. Minutes ago, we heard from city officials.
Tonight was a traumatic situation for the city of Waukesha. We don't have all the details. We can't provide details at this point. But we will have a press conference at 7:30, and to speak now is our police chief, Dan Thompson.
Good evening, approximately 4:39 p.m. And I'll just give a brief summary. We'll do a formal briefing at 7:30. But about 4:39 p.m., the red SUV drove into our Christmas parade that we were holding downtown. More than 20 individuals were injured as a result of this incident. The Waukesha Police Department has recovered a suspect vehicle. It's an ongoing investigation. Victims were actually transported from the scene via ambulance. Officers actually transported some of the injured personnel and took them to the hospitals, and some victims were actually transported by family members and friends to the hospitals. Very tragic incident, very chaotic. There is no other threats involved. The scene is now safe. Again, it's very chaotic, very tragic incident. And my prayers and thoughts go out to the family members. And we'll give a formal briefing at 7:30. Thank you.
What about a suspect?
We have a person of interest that we are looking into at this time.
In custody?
Like I said, we have a person of interest. I have to get more information because I don't want to give you bad information. Okay, so thank you.
As the police chief said, a news conference is planned minutes from now, and we're going to bring that to you live. Of course, we're also getting new video from an eyewitness. It shows a red SUV speeding through the parade barriers, and an officer there was right behind it. Here is another view of a red SUV, the SUV barreling down the parade route just as a marching band is stepping out of frame. One witness you may have just heard told me that she could hear the thud of people being struck, and that police on the scene told her as many as 30 people were injured. But again, we heard actually from the police chief himself. He said more than 20 people were injured from this horrific incident there in Waukesha, Wisconsin. And we just got this statement from the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers. Kathy and I are praying for Waukesha tonight and all the kids, families, and community members affected by this senseless act. I am grateful for the first responders and folks who acted quickly to help, and we are in contact with local partners as we await more information. And we also have this tweet from Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin. The horrific violence of Waukesha Christmas parade is just heartbreaking. Please keep the victims in your prayers tonight. Joining me now to further discuss, CNN national security analyst and former Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security Juliette Kayyem. Also with me, former acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Anthony Barksdale. Juliette, to start with you again as we wait for more information to try to piece this together, and we do expect this press conference to start around 30 minutes or so from now. But we did hear from the police chief some really important information that they believe they have found the vehicle, that they are looking into a person of interest, and that he said there is no ongoing threat and that the scene is secure. What do you make from all of that?
So that putting those pieces together, they know exactly who they're looking for. That person may or may not have been known to the police before, but is certainly known to them now. That person is not part of some bigger, larger effort that they're worried about, whether it be affiliation with other groups or organizations that may also be violent. So someone like me listens to that, and I start to see silver lining amongst some really bad news. So whether they have that person or that person is running, they clearly know who exactly that is. And so that now narrows our search, and it may also narrow motivation, which is really clear right now. So you have that piece with what happened in terms of the culprit and the potential motivation, and then you have, of course, the tragedy of a parade being hit, and I heard about 30 victims. We did not hear any confirmation of casualties. Once again, these are the things that we listen for, so we may get some more specific news in about 23 minutes, but that also is something that silver lining again makes me happy in terms of if we don't have a large death count, that's good news amongst bad, and that's I think what we look at for incidents like this at this stage. So I think we'll be able to close this out in terms of both who it is and then what the extent of the harm is to that community probably within the next hour or so.
Anthony Barksdale, I want to bring you in. What is your reaction to that information, and what does that entail when you hear the police chief say they are looking into a person of interest? What is going on right now behind the scenes?
Okay, if an officer runs your license plate, you ask for a listing. That listing is going to provide an address that the vehicle comes back to. Then the officers can go and figure out who was driving the vehicle if they don't already know. So now we're in a state where we're moving to look for this suspect. I'm not sure. We don't know if shots were fired. If shots were fired, then I want SWAT doing this part of the procedure with detectives. If shots weren't fired, then any police officer can help knock on the doors, do an area canvass, because if the individual isn't with the truck, if you form a perimeter, you're searching that perimeter. You're looking through that area. Was it a bailout? Did he walk to an address? Did he or she walk to an address? We don't know. But this is the phase where police are thinking, let's make an arrest. Let's find this person and put him in handcuffs, him or her in handcuffs.
And I'm wondering, just picking up on the language he used, person of interest, he did not say suspect. Do you think that's because they may know who owns this vehicle, but they don't know if the owner is in fact the person behind this, Juliet?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So everyone, we know who owns that car. The driver's license is known. There's so many pictures of the car at this stage, but who was behind the wheel is not known. So the person of interest may be the same person, or simply the owner could be a family member, a child, or adult child who was doing something with the car. So that once again, these work themselves out relatively quickly, as we've seen over the course of a lot of these in terms of identifying who's the owner and then who may have been driving at the time and then where they might be. So those will limit the investigation in terms of where motivation can take us. Because once again, let's all pause about motivation. We simply just still do not know. It looks horrific. It looks purposeful. We simply do not know.
We don't. I've covered enough tragedies in my career as a journalist where what you think you knew in the beginning, at the end, it was a very different situation. And so we do want to sort of hold on that judgment, but we have clues. And of course, part of the clues we're working off of are these videos that are coming in. A red SUV, who eyewitnesses say they saw the red SUV go down and hit people fast. I mean, hit people and was going very fast. One eyewitness said at least 30 miles per hour from what she could gather. How important are these videos, Anthony, for investigators?
They're very important. It's evidence. Social media over and over again is helping police, law enforcement solve crimes. So the public's participation and posting of incidents like this are very helpful to law enforcement.